I don't feel that it is necessary to know exactly what I am. The main interest in life and work is to become someone else that you were not in the beginning. The strategic adversary is fascism, the fascism in us all, in our heads and in our everyday behavior, the fascism that causes us to love power, to desire the very thing that dominates and exploits us. Schools serve the same social functions as prisons and mental institutions, to define, classify, control, and regulate people. Do not ask who I am and do not ask me to remain the same. More than one person, doubtless like me, writes in order to have no face. The imaginary is not formed in opposition to reality as its denial or compensation, it grows among signs, from book to book, in the interstice of repetitions and commentaries, it is born and takes shape in the interval between books. It is the phenomena of the library. The intellectual was rejected and persecuted at the precise moment when the facts became incontrovertible, when it was forbidden to say that the emperor had no clothes. There is no power relation without the correlative constitution of a field of knowledge, nor any knowledge that does not presuppose and constitute at the same time power relations. Justice must always question itself, just as society can exist only by means of the work it does on itself and on its institutions. Death left its old tragic heaven and became the lyrical core of man, his invisible truth, his visible secret. We have to be there at the birth of ideas, the bursting outward of their force, not in books expressing them, but in events manifesting this force, in struggles carried on around ideas, for or against them. The first task of the doctor is political. The struggle against disease must begin with a war against bad government. Man will be totally and definitively cured only if he is first liberated. Power is tolerable only on condition that it masks a substantial part of itself. Its success is proportional to an ability to hide its own mechanisms. There are times in life when the question of knowing if one can think differently than one thinks, and perceive differently than one sees, is absolutely necessary if one is to go on looking and reflecting at all. Self-attachment is the first sign of madness, but it is because man is attached to himself that he accepts error as truth, lies as reality, violence and ugliness as beauty and justice. Nature, keeping only useless secrets, had placed within reach and in sight of human beings the things it was necessary for them to know.